Hey everyone, I just want to talk about how nobody wants to work anymore. It's not just Gen Z, like, nobody really wants to work anymore. And can you really blame them? Now, you could say, well, people are being entitled, and, it's like, I understand that point of view, like, but we're in a time where work doesn't really have any meaning, doesn't really feel like it has any value anymore. So it's not only that, but a lot of people don't even feel like they're being respected. They're being treated as disposable. It's kind of like how the dating market is now. I made a video about that, actually, talking about the parallels between the current job market and the current dating market, how they're very similar. So a lot of people are just kind of opting out of traditional work. They are looking for alternatives, like starting an online business, which, yeah, it's easier said than done, right? It's going to take time to get it established. Like if you want to start a YouTube channel or start an online business, like doing online coaching or selling products online or etc., it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of effort as well. But a lot of people just feel like, well, enough's enough. I just need to do this for my own sense of well-being, because these modern jobs now, that, like, what is there left now? It's just like mainly just office jobs, and even that's kind of dying, and it's usually just a bunch of soulless jobs that people feel like they're just kind of all it's doing is just helping the bottom line of corporate executives and management and all that. So it's just that people are feeling used, exploited, and people don't want to feel like that. People want to feel like they are contributing some kind of value and getting a fair exchange. And it doesn't help when our money is being devalued, so people are working longer hours for less money. Now, I mean, yeah, people can make a decent salary if they work hard enough, they put in the time, and they put in the effort. But a lot of people just feel like the juice is just not worth the squeeze anymore. Like, it's just got to a point where like the money that's being paid, like say someone earns 30k a year, but what's that even getting people? And even if it got them like a decent lifestyle, then is it worth sacrificing so many hours out of your day doing something you don't really want to be doing, that doesn't give you fulfillment? And a lot of people have been, doing the quiet quitting thing. It's been, happening for a while, ever since we came out of lockdown, pretty much, that the people have sort of decided that enough's enough. And you could say it was good in a way, the lockdown, because it then made people realize that they're that working for a soulless corporation really sucks, and they finally kind of got a taste of not having to do that for a while. So you could say that there was a lot of bad, of course, but they say every cloud has a silver lining, and a lot of people have decided, maybe it's time to find another way. Maybe starting an online business or something that you actually have a passion for. If you're doing something like, if you're into cooking, then maybe starting a channel, and then you could start selling stuff around that, like you sell books and about recipes and things like that, selling your own products even. So it's just people are fed up. People are using the power of the internet to their advantage. So a lot of people will say that we're living in a bad time right now, but we in some ways are living in a great time right now, because there is such an abundance of options of what you can do. So it really is not impossible to make it online if you really want to put the time in. I've been building this channel up for a while. I got it monetized recently, and yeah, so I started making some money off it, and it's starting to go up month after month. So it's just about having faith in what you're doing and willing to adjust if need be, because sometimes people's pride gets in the way and they stick at something and they don't want to accept that they're doing something wrong. So you have to be able to drop that pride and just kind of be like, be able to take on criticism if there's things you're doing wrong. So that way you'll just kind of it'll be quite sort of it will just like it'll propel you basically by being able to kind of humble yourself. A lot of people stay stuck because of their ego. So yeah, we have to keep our ego in check when we're trying to start, like a personal brand or something like that, because you are going to get criticism. You have to be able to deal with it. And it's something I've struggled with in the past, and I would kind of act all a bit kind of funny about it, but you have to learn to appreciate it, that all they're trying to do is help you, and they're not necessarily doing it out of malice or anything like that. Because sometimes we can get ideas in our head that people are just trying to hate on you or whatever, and just try and kind of give you bad advice or whatever. But you have to just kind of learn to kind of know what to trust in, whether people are giving you good advice or not. What are their intentions? Like just you got to have that discernment, that critical thinking, to be able to know what whether people do have your best interests, or if they've, like, their track record, do they have, like, the things that they've said in the past make sense, like. So yeah, but we just gotta focus on what it is we want out of life. Some people just want a simple life, and they end up moving to a different country where the cost of living is a lot cheaper. I mean, some people could just say I'd make like $10-20 a day on their YouTube channel, and they move to like Thailand or the Philippines or something, because you really only need maybe a few £100 a month or dollars a month to be able to get by in some of these countries, especially countries like the Philippines and Indonesia and Malaysia, and really, really cheap countries, some of these. Yeah, it's just you probably won't get much kind of like luxuries and stuff, but you can get by on very little in some of these countries. But it's all down to like what you want out of life. And let's say you're making $20-30 a day on your YouTube channel, and you move to one of these countries, and maybe in a few months your channel might be making $50-100 a month. So once you're making like that much money, you might be able to be like, okay, well, I can just move. And if you've got a bit of like a an emergency fund just in case, I would recommend having that, maybe like 1,000 or 2, just to give you that buffer You don't want to end up going and some kind of like bill just comes out of nowhere that you weren't expecting. So I wouldn't just like quit everything right now. I would just kind of make sure I've got a bit of a buffer, and then kind of just try to see what it is you want to do. If you've got a few thousand, you might be able to just go right away, because by the time that money runs out, then you might have already made it. Like, because especially if you can find some people to network with, some people they'll just start a vlog over in some of these countries, and then they'll like meet people, and then their channel kind of blows up because they're finding the right people to meet up with. But yeah, because they say like your network is your net worth, so I can sort of understand that kind of or it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's the same kind of thing, really. But yeah, that's it's an option. Some people just choose to do van life or something, and there was this guy who was like using matched betting as a way to subsidize his van life, and he's making some money off his YouTube channel as well. So there are ways that things can be done if you want to just kind of check out of the system. And that's kind of like what people are doing. Just like a lot of people are just checking out of dating now. They're just kind of focusing on themselves, because they're thinking, well, what is the point? Because everyone's like, so everyone's kind of just, well, people got trust issues, and it's like nobody trusts each other anymore. It's like employees don't trust employers don't trust employees. It's like everything's so everything's just so kind of effed right now, isn't it? It's like just but in a way you could say it's a good thing if it's allowing people to kind of take a step back and think about what what you really want out of life. Do you really want to be like working in a system that is oppressive? That's what a lot of people are kind of questioning and deciding, what, I don't want that. I want to just either live a simple life, or they'll hustle for a while and start their business. I know I said hustle culture is bad, but I mean, there is like a kind of healthy level of hustling where it's like it's not going to negatively impact your life. It's about like kind of just lock in for a while and just do what you need to do, but you need to find balance, and just try and kind of just to like focus on like getting that business off the ground or something, because once that's done, then you can then decide what you want to do from there. Do you want to live a simple life and go in Southeast Asia or whatever and just get away from the hustle and bustle of the West, or do you want to try and sort of become wealthy over here? Because a lot of people are thinking that might not really be the best idea anymore. You can go where your money's worth more, so then you don't have to be putting so much time and effort in to get less out of it. But it's just people have got to people have got some thinking to do. But I'm not saying that people shouldn't work a 9 to 5 as well. I mean, I just want to say that now, that if you really enjoy what you do, then if that gives you fulfillment, that's great, but it's, it's just some people just don't like feeling exploited, and they want to work for themselves. They want to set their own hours, their own. I mean, yeah, some people can do that in these, be an employee and be still able to kind of have some flexibility with it. But most jobs, it's like you have to like ask for permission just to take a holiday. I understand that that they need to have like notice on these things, but yeah. But I think that like the problem is that when people are just so focused on making profits, then it's like people's welfare isn't taken into account so much. Oh, sorry. Well, that guy's pretty fast on a bike. Yeah. At least he actually said something, because some people will just like ride past you and then almost run you over, basically. But yeah, some people are kind of annoying, and they just like don't really have much regard for other people. But yeah, that's that's another topic. But yeah, but I hope everyone's well, and I just thought I'd share my thoughts on this topic, because I mean, it's just some people want to just kind of feel sorry for themselves, or even have resentment towards employers or whatever. But it's like, we've got to just not do that. We have to focus on what we want out of life. If we put all our focus into that instead of blaming others, then maybe we can actually make it whatever that means to you, because making it means different things to different people. So don't let other people tell you what you should be doing. So, oh, if you're not making 100k plus per year, then you're broke or something like that. It's like, really? It's like people have such warped perceptions of what success is, I think, personally. Like, people don't seem to really kind of understand what it really means to be successful, because to me it's about letting go of materialism and the need for external validation, because I think that's what a lot of it comes down to. Once you can let go of that, then this pressure that people have to try and make it in the way that we've been sold, like getting the Bugatti or whatever. It's like, why do you need that? A lot of people, they just want to do that to impress others. Once you stop caring about all that stuff, then you're a lot more free. So a lot of escaping the rat race comes down to just being able to free yourself from the need for approval from others. It's like, we don't need it, and we need to work on that if we feel like we do. Otherwise, we're just going to never be happy, because there's always going to be somebody that's not approved. There's always going to be somebody that's not that doesn't appreciate you or whatever. Everyone's got their own standards, and we have to just live by our own standards and not other people's. So I just want to kind of focus on the life that I want, not other people's vision of it. For some people, they'd be like, oh, well, you should go to university or something like that. But not everybody needs to be doing that. Everybody's got their own path. Oh, you should start this and that. It's like, I don't care. It's like you do you, I'll do me, and let's just kind of let's just agree to disagree, I guess. But yeah, like a lot of people are just not even bothering with uni now, especially guys. I've heard like I think it's something like 60% of people in uni are female now. So a lot of guys are just kind of not really bothering with that. I don't know if it's always been the case, but I don't know if like the numbers are dropping off. That might be something I need to look into, but yeah, a lot of guys are just kind of, they tend to be more into like either going into trades or starting a business. But yeah, trades can be a good option for people. Apparently they can pay some pretty good money. In fact, I've heard in some cases people can earn more doing that than being a doctor or something. It's hard work, but well, at least you're getting exercise. But then I don't know if you're like overdoing it, perhaps, and that could be an issue with, you know, doing that all day. So maybe it's something that people could do part-time and not have to do it all the time. You know, if you're a trader, then because you don't want to, like, you know, break your body down. It's like people working in warehouses, and I've heard, you know, that really like can break your body down. So you want to make sure that you find something that you're going to be able to recover from it. You're not going to be, you know, having too much cortisol, too much stress. In certain environments, it's stressful, like, you know, if you've got bad bosses and stuff like that, and that can really affect your mental health, your physical health, everything. You know, and when you're stressed and, you know, there's a lot of pressure on you, that can really affect your immune system and all sorts. So we have to think of this like holistically in terms of not just our financial well-being, but even our emotional well-being, physical well-being even. Because, you know, when we feel like we're not on our purpose, it can really drain us of our spirit. And it's just sad to see, really. But yeah, it's a really nice area that I'm in right now. It's just on like a suburb of York. I'll just show you it's going over this bridge here. Got like a little river there. Yeah, so just like on this walk, and I thought I'd try go a different path than I normally do. But yeah, there's like a little church there, graveyard. Yeah, it's nice and quiet here. Just trying to make sure I'm going the right way. But yeah, it's you know, kind of it's up to you guys, really. You know, do you want to constantly try and work for some boss that doesn't care about you, or find something you really have a genuine interest in? Because otherwise, then, you know, where's the point in even living? So I'm like, you know, I think deeply sometimes, like, I'll be thinking things like, what is the point of living just to survive and be stressed out and just feel kind of like we're not living our true purpose. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going the right way here, but hang on a sec. I don't recognize this area, so I'm gonna go back down. I might have turned off too early, but I'm not gonna keep this video going much longer. I try to limit it to like half an hour at the most, because otherwise people might struggle to kind of stay tuned. I notice a lot of like people tune out pretty quickly. Like, some of my videos get pushed out to a lot of people, but most people aren't really watching that long. So, but yeah, I like to do longer videos sometimes to kind of really be able to get my thoughts out. Maybe I should do them into like part 1, part 2, part 3. Maybe that's something I'll do in the future that might make it more kind of like bite-sized. because yeah, people seem to struggle with attention, especially these days, and that's something you're going to have to work on if you want to free yourself as well, because otherwise you're, you know, like they say, focus is a superpower, so you want to be able to keep like laser focus. Like you want to be able to just focus so intently on something that, you know, that's what you're thinking about. Like even when you're not doing it, it's like you're thinking about ideas of, say for example, like you want to become a musician. It's like you'll have ideas in your head, like when you're not even playing your instrument or whatever, you'll be thinking, or like when you're not doing it, like you'll be thinking, oftentimes you'll be thinking of like lyrics or whatever, and it's like you always be having ideas in your head, like because you're so locked into that. Yeah, because that's your passion, that is your purpose. And so yeah, obviously, you know, it's easier said than done, like I said, that you know, it's not easy to break free in a lot of ways, but nothing good ever comes easy though. We have to embrace the struggle, because if something's really easy, right, we tend not to appreciate it. We tend to take it for granted more, don't we? We tend to just be like, yeah, whatever, you know, but if we're appreciative of it, then we're going to be more likely to, you know, not sabotage things. It's like, you know, if someone's given something as a gift, they're more likely to break it than if they've had to work for it. So yeah, I don't really think that we should be trying to just find shortcuts to make things easy for ourselves. Like we should just embrace that grind. It's like everyone just wants the easy way out. It's like if we, you know, let's say we ride a motorbike up a hill, like, yeah, it's cool, you know, we get that nice view or whatever, but when we've had to ride a push bike up it, or run up it, then the reward is so much more satisfying, because we've had to put work into it, we've had to struggle, we've had to push ourselves. Like, it ain't hard just to, you know, ride a motorbike up it. Of course, yeah, you have to be able to do that. Obviously, you have to have a license or that, but it's like, but it would be like the path of least resistance. But when we make things harder for ourselves, then it's actually, it gives us more dopamine, I think, in the long run. And that's why some people like to do cold showers and things like that, to give ourselves a shock, give ourselves a sense of discomfort. A lot of people don't even realise how good they have things in life until there's some sense of adversity. So with that being said, take care everyone. I'm going to be live at about 7 PM UK time, so I hope to see you all then. Until next time, peace out, bye.